Don't see anybody. Okay, we're going to go ahead and get started here. If you have issues hearing, please shout that out in the chat or put a question in for us to know that that's going on. But we've had somebody confirm they can hear, so we're going to go ahead and get started. Okay, awesome. So welcome, everybody. Thanks for joining today. I'm Ian McCracken, Customer Experience Specialist here at Paladin. Oh, sorry, now I'm Account Specialist, just recently changed that role from Customer Experience. We're going to spend the next few minutes together looking over PaladinNsight and the investment review tool. Basically, we're going to show you how to keep your inventory working for you as opposed to against you. So let's go jump into it and get started. On the agenda for today, we're reviewing what PaladinNsight is, as well as what proper inventory management looks like day to day, plus a walkthrough of how to use the Insight dials of view to go through from meter to detail. I'm a big fan of the investment review tool. I'm a firm believer that if you don't have accurate inventory, nothing else is accurate in your system. So what is PaladinNsight? It's powered by our market-driven inventory management system and lives right inside the inventory module. Just a quick definition there, market-driven means that your stocking levels are guided by what your local customers are actually buying. So real sales activity at your store sets the targets instead of a one-size-fits-all rule. The investment review tool is one piece of that dashboard. It gives you a real-time look at how your inventory is performing so you can maximize profit while minimizing loss. Your inventory is the single biggest investment in your store, and how well you manage that directly sets up your customer experience. Correctly labeled, easy to find, attractively presented, that's what drives loyalty and ROI. If you skip those regular reviews, that experience starts to slip. Reviewing your inventory regularly is really important at what, my apologies there. Reviewing your inventory regularly is really what managing the investment looks like in practice. The tool gives you 3 levels of detail, depending on how deep you want to go. The meter is a quick snapshot of the overall percent of your unreviewed inventory. The reviewer, an interactive summary grouped by department or location. And the details is an itemized list for any department or location that you click into. And we're going to walk through what each one shows you. The investment review meter shows the percentage of your inventory that's been unreviewed for the last 180 days. So the lower the percentage, the better. If you're reviewing year-round, this should usually sit about 10%. If you see it climbing over time, that's your signal to circle back and make sure your reviews are actually happening on the floor. If you see this increasing through the year, increase your counting practices by just a bit, and you'll catch right up. Now let's see what happens when we click on the magnifying glass. Click the magnifying glass below the meter. We'll open up the investment reviewer. This is where things get useful. You can see exactly which departments or locations have items that have slipped past the 180-day mark. The next columns on the screen can be sorted as well. Sorting gives you great flexibility on how you can review the information available to you. Toggling between departments and location, switch between number of items and percent of items, filter by supplier, or the last time you counted an item. And you can also click, you can click any of those column headers to sort. So anything you see on the screen right now, that order by, display by, review after, limit to supplier, all of those things let you sort by those different values that you see over on the right there. So feel free, once you get into the tool, to play around, to click around on different column headers you have, and that will give you a lot of ability to change how you're viewing the data. My preferred way to start is to select the number of items option at the top left of the window, and then click the column header second from the right called number of items to review. You should just have to click once or twice, and that'll put the largest number on top. Once you finish counting a department or location, depending on what you have selected for your view, it will drop off the list. That's your signal that you've completed counting that section or department. Click the magnifying glass one more time on that screen and you're in the details view, an itemized view of everything out of date for that department or location with all the info you need to start reviewing. Double click any part number or click its magnifying glass and that'll open the part in your inventory module. And you can also close it at that point, and you will go right back to that detail view where you left off. So if you see something you'd like to interact with, go ahead and click on that screen. It'll take you into the item, then close that item again in inventory, and you'll go right back to that detail screen. So all of this just worked out in a single workflow. Is you first set up a plan, review your schedule. So that includes how often and how much you need to count. We recommend you start out counting a 4-foot section every day. And if you need to, increase or decrease that as you'd like to. If you notice that you're not quite catching up, go ahead and add a second 4-foot section. And if you're keeping up totally fine, then you should just continue what you're doing. Step 2 is pick the departments and locations you'd like to tackle. In that first view, once you get in there, go ahead and choose either the number of items or start with the slimmest pickings and go to the least number of items. Either way, you want to just pick something and start attacking that. In order to help your team do that, you can just go and print via a button on that screen, and we'll show you that in the demo that lets you print that out to an Excel report. You can print that Excel report, hand it to your people, and then they can take that report and go to Paladin Go on their phones, go find those items in the store, and then go count everything. And of course, you always want to confirm that you found everything if you're looking at a specific section of your store. But that's essentially the whole loop. Step 1 is plan. Step 2 is pick what you want to count. Step 3 is save those item lists. Step 4, open up Paladin Go on your phone and go count. If you can make sure you do all that every day, you'll be set up and ready to go. Stepping back to the big picture, you must review inventory to make your inventory work and to catch items that aren't performing. Items get moved, bin tags fall off, prices drift, things can scan wrong. Customers notice when displays and pricings are off. That hits your bottom line. The investment review tool puts a number on what needs attention and tells you exactly where to look. Now, we're going to walk through that tool inside of Paladin. So give me a moment to show you that. We're going to do a quick little demo on it. Had to change where my screen's looking, so just give me 1 second there. Boom, sharing that Paladin screen now. So I'm a big fan of the investment review tool. We're going to come in here. It's going to take a second for our inside dials to load. And you can see right away, we've got about 92% of our inventory is uncounted. So that's pretty high. We immediately want to go attack these things. 92% is very high, but I see a lot of stores hanging out between 50 and 70%. So those definitely would require attention as well. Anything over that like 20-30% mark, I would start attacking pretty aggressively, more aggressively as you get more and more out of date with your reviews. So you see this magnifying glass here to the bottom right of this second to the left dial. Go ahead and click on that, and that'll open up our review screen. Apologies. So right here, if you use locations make counting super duper efficient. Right here, you could know that, hey, that's my glass area. You can go in there, and then now you have every item that you need to count in that glass area. It's not, it sees it as a separate window. That's interesting. So let's do this. There we go. Just had to change my settings there. So we can see this is our detail view. So we have our items here. You can delete a part right from this screen. So if you know, oh, I got rid of this ages ago, just go ahead and check that box. Then you can hit delete at the bottom left, and that'll get rid of the item. If you want to go double check some of the info here, you can either start looking at last counted and see when that oldest item is, or you can look at your most recent stuff and just double click, and that pulls up the part in inventory for you. Wanted to look at your sales history, when the last time you sold it was, see if there's any other details you need to change with it. Is its pricing good? And if all that looks good and you want to keep it, continue, move on, do your count, or you can hit cancel, and that will move you back to the inventory reviewer screen. So that lets you bounce between items super duper easy and lets you go right back to where you were working out before you went into that item individually. Departments are pretty useful as well. And you can see right here, that second column to the right, the number of items to review. And it looks like Blishmise is our big one here. So we can click on that magnifying glass and that'll get our items up. And we can make an assessment here if we wanted to start counting these. If we want to start counting them, we simply click Excel report if you'd like. That gets those items exported to an Excel report. And you can use that report to give to your people so they can go count items and go find those things in your store. And that report is pretty simple. It's just a direct representation of what that screen is there. Okay. That's essentially a little bit of a tutorial here. One last thing, forgot to do. You can change this review after period. So let's say you're aggressively attacking your inventory and you're like, shoot, I'm doing pretty well. I want to count everything that hasn't been counted for 6 months, right? Or 3 months. So you go to 90 days and then bam, it recalculates that screen for anything that hasn't been counted in that 90 days. On the bottom right here, you can see the percent reviewed today, 30 days ago, percent reviewed, and the number of items to review. We've got about 5,000 in our store. So that's a quick little once over on the tool. We're going to go ahead and leave that up, and then I'll go ahead and look at some questions here. Still got that one for Bill. Oh, my apologies. Forgot we have to finish that slideshow. So let me jump back there. Okay, we can jump back to the demo if we need to show anything else in there. If people have some questions, we'll be answering questions soon, so people get ready for that one. Okay, so we will say here. So quick heads up, what's next? Our next webinar is Stop Lost Items from Draining Your Bottom Line, June 30th at 9 a.m. Same link, portal.paladinpos.com/webinars. We'd love to see you there. And a few resources if you want to dig deeper. We've got PaladinNsight overviews and a guide on investment review right in the help portal. Today's recording will be on portal.paladinpos.com/webinars. It'll usually be up there within a day or two. And that's it for this presentation today. We'll get into questions from here. Thanks y'all for spending some time with me. If you want to check out any retail trends or any of the retail science we're working on, go ahead and go to paladinpointofsale.com/retail science. Self-help lives at portal.paladinpos.com, and more webinars are available at portal.paladinpos.com/webinars. Alrighty then, so I'll move over to our screen here. We'll go ahead and get that share back over to this side. We'll get that up. Okay, so happy to take any questions now. Hang out for a minute or two if anybody has one. Correct, yeah, that's purely driven by that last counted date you had for the item. So if the item hasn't been counted for 6 months, it's going to be on the list. If you go to the item, you click count on it and assess its stock on hand, that then's going to remove it from the list for you. Correct. Yeah, the number of items to review, and I'll read that question out. Apologies there. Okay, and the number of items to review is pulling that number based upon the review after 180 days or whatever you set this to. Correct. Yeah, the number of items to review is purely looking at the last time that item was counted and today's current date and that time frame you have set there. So if all of those things match up, that item is going to be on the list for us. No problem there, Bill. Okay. Any other questions coming in there? Give it about another minute here, see if anybody has anything. I think we are pretty good. Awesome. Well, thank you guys. It was a pleasure working with you. I look forward to doing another webinar in the future. If you guys come up with any questions or anything like that, don't hesitate to give us a call here. And yeah, hopefully you have yourselves a great day, and thanks for your time. Bye-bye, everybody.